Well, I'm not sure whether the world is actually transforming from chaos or transforming back into chaos, but it's an interesting question in that it seems to presuppose that the opposite of chaos, what we're going towards as we leave chaos, would be order. I don't actually believe that order is necessarily ethical. Order can be, in fact, very unethical, as I suppose chaos can be beneficial or not. You know, democracy is rather a chaotic institution. Fascism is orderly. The trains run on time. And in democracy, you just have to listen to everybody talk when they want to talk, and it's messy. Well, I do think that right at this moment, and I speak to you now, it's almost the December of 2016. At this moment in our history, we are evolving perhaps towards something that promises more order. Now, just as we look to an ethical institution, the institution actually goes all the way up. You know, there's a college, and then there's the university, and then there's the system, and then there's the regents. That's all part of Texas Tech. And then the regents are appointed by actually something called the governor. And the higher up we go, the more we get into politics. And we actually should be looking towards an ethical polity in our lives, in our country, in our United States of America. And I'm not sure we're headed in that direction. I think the need to preach and practice ethics has never been more important than it is right now. Actually, very early in our time working on the ethics initiative, we went to a local conference on ethics at which a statement was made and insisted upon that was very controversial among my colleagues, and that was that ethics meant obeying the laws, that ethics and the laws were coterminous. And this was controversial because, number one, it is possible for politicians who actually create the laws to create unethical laws. And conversely, you can obey the laws and not be ethical. Sometimes ethics requires you to do something beyond the law, even sometimes outside of the law. Right now, we're having the suggestion, once again, at a much higher level than the local level, that ethics and the laws are coterminous. That is, if there's not an ethics law that binds, say, the President of the United States, then there are no ethical principles involved. You don't have to be, anything is ethical because there are no laws. Well, I think we should teach the world that is preposterous. That ethics obtain for the cat and for the king. And though it's sometimes hard to govern the ethics of a cat, they are actually sort of chaotic. The king, above all, should be ethical, or at least the president should be ethical. And so, as we evolve towards what's promised, I don't know if it's really going to happen, a sort of plutocratic fascism, we have to remind the world that there are ethical principles, and that we expect the world to try to live up to those ethical principles. Now, we're not so foolish to believe that the world will actually immediately become an ethical place. But as with our betters here within the university, reminding them that they should be thinking about ethics, it's perhaps a good thing. It's perhaps something that we should be gently relentless about reminding them. We expect our betters to be good.